evening, tasters. Nibbler here again, another nightcap note, and this is my 100th review. And like I did at the 50th review, in cricket terms, I'm going to raise my bat, my Laphroaig bat. And so for my 100th review, I just thought I needed to have a bit more of a look at some Laphroaig whiskies. I have 4 Laphroaig whiskies, and this is 3 of them. Thanks to all of you who've subscribed and made it fun to keep sharing my research with you. Please feel free to comment, because I love answering your comments. The first Laphroaig whisky is the Select Cask. Now all Laphroaig whiskies, or at least all the ones I've got, come in at 40%. So this Select Cask, no age statement, retails for about $95. And the colour is clear, bright and pale straw. And on the nose, it's definitely Laphroaig, but it's a very restrained version of Laphroaig. Doesn't slap you about the face like the 10-year-old probably will in a few minutes. Definitely restrained, but there's peat and iodine and spices, of course, and that medicinal character that is unmistakably Laphroaig. And maybe even a hint of leather. Smells pretty good. Well, that's smooth, and there's peat there, but not lashings of it. And it has that medicinal character that I keep talking about, and there's some lemon, even a bit of salt on the edges of the tongue, and obviously some spice and pepper, and a bit of pleasant oiliness, and a medium length finish, and the light peat sort of keeps going on a bit. This, as I said, doesn't slap one in the face with peat. It may be a good introduction into the wonders of Islay, or Islay, however you like to pronounce it, for those who are perhaps a bit challenged by peat. This may be a good start. Laphroaig Select Cask. So the second Laphroaig I have to review this evening is the Laphroaig 4 Oak. Now this, again, is at 40% and about $110. But this is a litre bottle, and I purchased it as a travel exclusive somewhere on duty free. It might have even been in Brisbane as I came back in and after the States in 2018. 4 Oak. It's a combination of lots of different casks, and it's hardly worth mentioning them. I think they probably had some whiskey left over in some different casks and blended it all together. So once again, the colour is a nice bright gold colour. And if anything, the Laphroaig nose is even more restrained than the Select Cask. There is a little bit of peat and a little bit of that medicinal character. We have a lozenge here in Australia, if you've got a sore throat, you suck it, called Fisherman's Friend. And it has some of that menthol character of that. And there's iodine and vanilla, but it's all very restrained. Not quite so restrained on the palate. Certainly the peat lets you know it's there. It's smooth and it's lively on the tongue. And there's that salt again at the edges of the tongue. Bit of vanilla. And I can definitely taste the wood. Perhaps even the charred oak, probably from the bourbon barrels that it may well have been in. There's some really nice flavours. And in the finish, the peat actually persists quite well. Ooh, I nearly got tongue-tied. It's long and spicy. And there's even a hint of licorice towards the end. This, although it's very nice, is still a tame version of the Laphroaig 10-year-old. Now, I'm not going to give you much a review of the Laphroaig 10-year-old. If you want to know what I think of the Laphroaig 10, have a look at my nightcap note number 50, where once again I raised the bat and talked about my love affair with Laphroaig. And also nightcap note number 67, where I'd reviewed my top 12 whiskies of my collection and rated the Laphroaig 10-year-old second. So I'm just going to taste it and enjoy it. And you notice there's a little number here, which is the Laphroaig 10-year-old, which was given to me as rent when I visited the Laphroaig distillery in 2007. As a friend of Laphroaig, my daughter and son-in-law had enrolled me as a friend, I was given this small bottle as rent. Anyway, I'm going to taste and enjoy the Laphroaig 10-year-old. Well, you see, the lashings of peat and medicinal and perhaps even salted fish, unmistakable. That's why I love it. It's just beautiful. It has everything in balance. The peat, the flavours, the spices, the wood, everything's in balance. It's just a beautiful whiskey. If I was rating these from best to not so good, I think I've got them pretty much in order. The select cask may well be one for somebody who is still challenged by peat, because it's quite restrained. This is nice. This is fabulous. Cheers. Thanks for supporting me through 100 reviews. Hopefully we keep going into the future. All the best. What do you think of Laphroaig? I love it.